All right.
I don't think so. Pretty good. All right.
Let's get straight into the action.
It's some grand finals now. Azreal, Ramses, Miller, Poptart.
Hitboxes everywhere, particle effects in the background. You love it here at Bethnal Green. That's how we play the game.
And a couple of swords for added measure.
I think I count 4 swords if you count both of the Corins. Sword and the chainsaw. Anyway, Miller going to put Azreal well into disadvantage over there.
There is an F smash.
Yep. Poptart's going to let those rip every now and again just to keep both opponents in check.
I haven't seen a Poptart F smash since I've been commentating doubles, so...
Wow, you've been... I've just personally played 50 stock 2-link Ditto with Super Gamer, so I haven't been watching at all, because I hate myself. Anywho. We're pushing. JMiller found himself pushed off stage briefly there, manages to find his way back on, and the fight seems to have descended into one of those fights where it's just 2 1v1 battles at the moment. I think that Azreal and Ramses will want to find their way into a situation where it's more of a confusing state, more of a brawl, rather than
there's been a couple of their moments, and they've definitely reaped the rewards from it.
Corin definitely thriving in areas where there's a lot less precision sort of required. Really nice synergy right there. Straight into the clouds, back in. Lovely confirmed there from Ramses and Azreal.
Oh, catch them off guard. Wow. With the limit blade beam.
There we go, Azreal finding his way out of that tough spot from Plastic Poptart, weaving his way in and out of Lucina's delicious hitboxes. Lucina, though, raw back air off stage on Ramses.
Yeah, pressing too many buttons, it looked like there. It's going to eat a back air. Blue team are looking really solid the last 2 sets I've seen them play in.
Yeah, they seem to have a 1 stock each advantage on the team from the Netherlands.
Pretty much, yep.
I expected JMiller to go for a jab there. Opts for all 3 of opts for all 3 of his jabs instead, and gets a Corin F smash for his trouble. And again, he's going in and pressing 3 jabs against a teammate who's backed by his teammate. So he's getting punished for that every time. But they do have the stock lead, and he has percent to play with. Here he goes. Oh, I really thought JMiller was going to go in there and try and blend the Ramses for an easy kill, but I'm not too sure how Corin's up B interacts with the blender.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Poptart gets caught holding the forward button, gets a tip of Corin F smash right there. Team UK still has the 1 stock advantage,
Dead.
And Ramses is dead now. Azreal in a really nasty 2v1 situation right here. Finds that he can't really go off stage, and he gets footstool for his trouble.
I like the idea of that B reverse up B, but not quite enough truth to actually grab the ledge.
Why do you think he reversed it?
Probably just to try and get Miller, surprisingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
But yeah, that's going to be game 1. So Miller and Poptart looking really strong.
Or should we say, in the spirit of our competitors, Verstanbar?
Absolutely Verstanbar.
Verstanbar? Is that how we say it? Are we doing it right?
Verstanbar. I'm not even sure if that's the correct word. I think there's a better word for understandable in Dutch, but I can't remember it right now.
Well, Fab's asked, and that's the answer we got. So Verstanbar. And understandably, getting straight back on with it. Going to Battlefield, I feel like the platforms are going to favour the characters with the bigger hitboxes, and that is the Dutch team right now.
Yeah.
How fun do you think landing around these 2 nairs is going to be on any of these 3 platforms?
Oh yeah, obviously. So Marcina and Luigi start at landing.
Yes.
That's going to be hard on this one. So it's rare you're going to see both of a team get jump. Wow, blue team. A lot of pressure on them now.
Yeah, Plastic Poptart needs to watch himself up there. I really like that from Azreal. Steps up onto the top platform, landed to reset his jump so he can continue pressuring Plastic Poptart with clouds. Very juicy up air.
Just to finish my point, if you're juggling one team member, you've got to watch out for the other team member, obviously. So
of course,
you might not see a full juggle, and then it's all about how to counteract the countering.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
We can go deep into the depths of the layers of Yomi.
Indeed. Even percentages really now. Like the first game, and it's a conversion right there.
JMiller and Plastic Poptart taking the lead early once again. Azreal,
getting a conversion.
Azreal missed it. That's a big drop from him as well. That could have evened up the stocks right there. Well, the stocks are even right now anyway.
Both members of each team looking dire on their first stocks.
Very much so.
There's an up smash on the landing. That back air just barely whipping. That is an up smash, sir.
Azreal getting cleaned up there, and now JMiller needs to keep this stock lead alive. He keeps throwing out jab 1, 2, 3. It could come to an end quite soon.
And the air dodges through the ledge. But Ramses opted to follow Poptart, so Miller gets back on. He is thrown back off now.
I like that from classic Poptart. Sees JMiller trying to recover, gets a grab and throws him into Miller's path for a possible follow-up. Miller didn't quite manage to capitalize on it, managing to focus more on his recovery, and he gets his stock cleaned out with a back air right there.
I saw Miller like he was kind of in disadvantage trying to recover, but Ramses was also trying to recover. So I'm just gonna throw him back out here.
Yeah.
Azreal does recover himself though, but I like the idea. Miller, that is a bite, but not death.
That could have looked like absolute genius. Miller throwing a teammate into his own partner's Dragon Fang.
Not quite dead.
That fair was on its way. Miller just getting the chop out in time.
Oh, not enough.
I thought Ramses was going to make it back right there.
Just slightly out of reach to grab the ledge.
I was just about to say it was almost even in terms of stocks, but Classic Poptart JMiller finding their way to take that last one off of Azreal. We find the red team holding stage control right now.
Yeah, both players are really putting pressure on both members of the blue team. But Miller now with a grab combo. But
he's used his jump. He needed to be careful right there.
Woo.
There was a moment. There was a very scary moment there.
Oh, he read the air dodge, but he's not dead at that percent.
He's not dead. Now he's got the job of charging limit again.
Oh, Miller cannot make it back. Right, so entirely possible for red team. See red team do some nice comebacks earlier with rage limit and whatnot.
Yes, this is true.
Or even just a simple ledge guard game. Let's hit Ram.
Finishing touch and cross slash.
Yeah.
And comebacks are made. And I don't think. Oh, he did have his jump. I thought I saw him burn it earlier. I must have been wrong.
Perfect spacing on the up B. Gets punished on the get up from ledge though.
Classic Poptart accidentally trading a hit or two with his own partner.
That's a really risky up smash.
Oh, and it's a one-on-one situation. This is heavily in JMiller's favor right now in terms of percent. We'll see how it goes right now. Let singles bracket commence.
Up smash on the drop through on the platform.
Catching the landing option. That is 2-0. One more for the reset.
Yeah, just one more already. Quite fast pace games we're having.
Absolutely. What I find is that Sod's Law dictates that there is going to be a bracket reset right now. You go through it in winner's bracket looking all kinds of strong, and then another team or another individual finds themselves with a second wind. And Plastic Poptart was looking away from the screen right there as the match started, waving at somebody, and before he knew it, he was on the receiving end of a #cloud up air. Rule number 1 is don't get hit, but I think it should be watch the screen. Now, here we go. Red team finding themselves in stage control once again, but that's proved to be not enough for them to take the game so far. Nice landing back air from Azreal, putting Plastic Poptart and allowing him to threaten to assist his partner right there. And I really like that in the doubles meta game. The threat of assisting your partner, so you step into the middle of the screen, and then the other person has to take an action. They have to.
I was going to say, Azreal's making it quite ambiguous who he's going to go for.
Yeah,
it's good stuff there.
And it's one of the things that you can only do once your team has stage control.
That last hit of cross slash not actually hitting the shield. So they did get punished for it afterwards.
I really like that setup there for the red team. Corrin stands in the mid screen, charging F smash. Cloud at the ledge, charging limit, and Cloud can react to anything, and Corrin can just throw out the F smash without really worrying about a jump from either of the opponents. Up smash not going to take JMiller's first stock.
Not quite a conversion off that back throw. It was really close. Fireball to jab to grab. Actually hitting his own teammate.
Smart stuff from JMiller there, throwing him towards Plastic Poptart, who was sat in shield. Poptart at the ledge, always deadly. It's one of his specialties.
Hitbox.
Yeah.
That's even stronger than the throw itself. So Poptart trying to rescue. Yeah.
That's horrific.
You see that Tim trying to save Miller, but he actually died, and Miller didn't.
Both characters got put into a hit stun right there, and both chose to air dodge coming out of it as well. Usually somebody takes the initiative right there.
Yeah, it's always a scary moment. Reverse up B, lovely answer to that with dash attack. Trying to punish the standard girl, not quite. Gonna dive.
Azreal sliding in to prevent Poptart from pressuring his partner any further.
I like that Poptart didn't commit to the fourth stream. I got punished on the kickback. Ramses pin. There's a counter. That was just absolute thuggery. He said, "Listen, I do the option. I'll do the option again if it doesn't work the first time." He detected that both of his opponents were being a bit too trigger happy with buttons and got a kill for it. Exactly.
Plastic Poptart opting to pop off the ledge, go for the back end, misses it. Now finds himself in disadvantage. Same. I'm disappointed when I'm in disadvantage as well, mainly in myself.
He's pulled down as Azreal again.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he's extremely good at timing it and spacing it, and it makes him extremely hard to punish.
But that one does get punished though.
Exactly as I say, anti-commentator technology right there. Catches him just before he gets up to the ledge. I'm not sure if that was a 2-frame or not.
I think he hit just before he grabbed the ledge.
Yeah.
But lovely stuff either way. He's red team.
Yeah.
Just let Don find himself to slow down.
And here we go. It'll be interesting to see how the mindset of the red team is changing as the game goes on, because they are staring down the barrel right now at a potential reset. Ramses dropping super low to avoid that cyclone. He knew what was coming. Even in terms of stocks now, and percent pretty much.
Okay, simple jump. Early up B, but Poptart with the up smash coverage.
I swear he got limit just in time to get that early option out.
Yeah.
It was like a surprise.
Sound effect.
Really good.
Just a short hop.
Good read on the jump, and it's a long way back for Ramses now.
I'm sure even if he clears Billy stock, that's the pressure to deal with. There is clearance of that set stock though.
A nice defensive option there from Ramses. He's kind of like Plastic Poptart uses up B out of shield to keep his opponents honest. To use counter like that when you've got two opponents. Good option there from Plastic Poptart, just slightly failing the execution of it.
He missed it straight away, does the up B either way. Ramses knew he could punish that missed up B as much as he wanted.
Absolutely.
As strongly as he wanted, because obviously Poptart is there.
There goes the counter again.
We actually read the fact that Poptart was going to swing, but Poptart actually missing.
Poptart needs to be careful right now.
Early up B.
Good back air there from JMiller. Keep him in disadvantage. Poptart ready to tech. I would imagine anyway.
Ramses being very slippery, but does find himself off stage again.
I like the last minute switch of places there. I don't actually think they planned it, but it looks really slick. Just as Ramses gets up, Plastic Poptart takes himself into the BlastZone, I should say.
Alright, so Ramses was going to put up a really good fight there, but we do find ourselves in the next set now.
The mental damage caused by causing your opponents to wait minutes and minutes and minutes and focus for minutes and minutes and minutes just to get rid of your last stock that comes with that gets carried over into the next set in a bracket reset situation. I'm overhearing people banning Town and City. Not wanting to get taken off the top by a Cyclone, perhaps, or by a Cloud up air. Or limit up B.
Any of these various sword-swinging up airs.
So many swords. Let me just get this. We've got Lucina, Cloud, and yep, there are 4 swords in this match. 3 swords and a chainsaw. I'll say it again.
Isn't the chainsaw also the sword?
What is the second thing she swings around during there? Then?
Her body parts.
Oh, that's a lance. Wait, oh no, 3 swords and a lance.
It's a dragon body part lance thing. Yeah.
There we go. We saw Plastic Poptart use that option I was just talking about, using that up B as an option up disadvantage to keep his opponents honest. Didn't quite work out for him that time. His opponents seemed to anticipate something of the sort.
Still outranged, gets in there afterwards. Miller.
Blue team got themselves set up with stage control this time.
Punish from Miller's recovery.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of end lag on that side B.
Kind of choosing not to focus on Poptart's there, but Miller's stock does get cleared. Oh, the F smash.
Plastic Poptart is going to survive this.
Trying to catch the landing.
There goes a stock from the red team as well, though. Azreal finding himself in the top right-hand corner.
The freaking Dragon Fang shot bite on the shield of Luigi made it so he couldn't get no scrap afterwards. It's so sad.
Yeah. Wait, did it push him out of range to punish?
It was like his momentum was still going back, so he didn't have enough momentum to go forward.
Alright.
Crazy.
I love seeing stuff like that, but I hate it when it happens to me.
Shoes, man, Luigi.
Last hits of up B, Corin's up B, managing to beat out JMiller Cyclone attempts.
Yeah, I think it was just before the hitbox came out. Poptart needs to land, drifts behind his teammate. Still gets hit by a Cloud down tilt.
There was, for a split second there, JMiller had to dodge so many hitboxes. Now, the synergy of this Dutch team is so good. Like, it's just buttons into aerials, into death. They're ready to react to pretty much whichever direction their partner sends one of their opponents. Now, I imagine they've got something similar planned for JMiller because he's approaching that sort of percent range. Especially now after getting tagged by that Nair in neutral.
For the center stage, still not playing Ramses' first stock. Coming in with a risky counter. So many rolls.
Oh, JMiller throwing out fares like there's no tomorrow. Ramses went for a pin into the stage and almost got himself blended for his trouble. That was unfortunate. That was almost very unfortunate for him.
Still hanging on to his first stock though.
The danger of pin with the forward follow-up, being able to send them into your partner, for example. That is what I think makes this team really good. Cloud Corin.
Alright, so Ramses' first stock finally being cleared, but Luigi up smash.
Plastic Poptart went for the dare in the ledge for a second, and almost got it, almost killed himself for it. The amount of end lag on that move.
Oh yes, horrendous.
Double teaming Ramses in the middle. I saw some kill lightning there. I don't know which hit it was for though.
It was Miller's back air and Azreal. Not quite taking it though.
Miller, I think Miller was trying to read a jumping option there from Azreal.
Like that.
Blue team getting scattered to the corners of the earth like the Dragon Balls.
Boy, they are Poptart, doesn't he? Looks like Poptart tried to cover off the third hit. We just jabbed it.
Oh, Miller goes super low, manages to blend Ramses' second stop, just clears it out.
So the most important thing now for Blue team is to get rid of Azreal's stock. Rage limit Cloud is on deck.
Or a second blender on Corin. Who knows? But
That's it.
That is not how this is going down, and now it's down to Plastic Poptart to see this game out.
But either way, that is Miller's stock gone, and he's gone for this game.
Bold from this team is still relying right now on the character that is. Oh, sorry, I got the percents wrong. I thought it was Ramses at 160 odd percent.
Ramses is the one fighting Poptart, keeping him away from limit charging Azreal, who has charged now.
Azreal right now is an object. Azreal's purpose in this match is objectified. This is a 1 versus 1 where one of Corrin's tools is back throw into death.
Poptart really wants to get that stock off though, but he doesn't. He takes a bit more damage.
And this should be it.
Tuck it.
You see what I mean though? It's very clear what the red team's goal in that match was.
And there's closing moments, definitely for sure. You could clear as day was the tactic, and it worked out despite Poptart's efforts.
So sitting here, both teams now sitting pretty in losers grand finals. Bracket has been reset. 1-0 in favor of Azreal and Ramses. No character.
First game they've taken against these team of Miller and Poptart.
Do you know who put Miller and Poptart into losers?
I can't remember.
No.
I think I was losing in doubles myself at the time. Maybe.
Fair enough.
They might have played earlier, but I can't remember. But here we are, game 2 into set 2 now.
Strange option there from JMiller, opting to go straight for the grab while Corrin was lurking nearby. Because that's the saddest thing, and that's one of the saddest thing about playing against a doubles team with a Corrin on board. You try and punish their partner for something, and you just get nared for it.
Corrin there, man. Good move. Essentially, Ramses gets the grab hard. What's going to happen off stage? As you're opting
Plastic
to go
Poptart, that was really good from him, and Ramses is not coming back from that. Red team finds themselves at a deficit within 45 seconds.
Miller following up from Poptart's down tilt. Low tech, might be done. But either way, he's in a smash.
We've descended, for a second there, we descended into what looked like 2-1 versus 1 fights, and then immediately Azreal ready to react to a reeling JMiller that was sent his way by Ramses.
Down there out of the shield so fast. From Azreal, I should say.
There's that up B out in the neutral game from Plastic Poptart again. I'm going to call it every time he does it because I think it's disgusting the amount he gets away with it. Ramses landing with Nair to keep himself safe. Both of them slightly pressuring JMiller more, but ready for Plastic Poptart's approach right there.
Both the blue team hanging on to their first stocks.
Yeah.
Just wow. There's the limit blade beam. There's a shield break.
But it was JMiller. Oh, the get-up attack ends the dizzy from the shield break. There was a perfect opportunity to end JMiller's stock right there, but they get it anyway. No.
So even stocks, but blue team have so much damage already. Red team's second stocks. Some stocks are going to be deleted very soon, you'd have to imagine.
Well, not if the red team have anything to say about it. Azreal was holding court in center stage right there.
There's a bite, wow. I mean, hey, Poptart's already at cross/percent. Yeah, off the side, but no, that's an up B again. Very quick punish.
That pick would have put Miller into a really nasty situation right there, but he gets away with it.
Nearly dying to get. Gives him the karate chop.
Do not approach me when I'm up on this platform, and do not air dodge, good sir.
Juggles from Azreal and Miller now, really good.
Yeah. Miller choosing the wrong option one too many times.
That was a good option with the jab, but he still gets caught, unfortunately.
That was really good from Poptart. Miller had to get off that stage, off that ledge eventually.
And Miller getting caught off stage by Ramses, that was also off stage. Tries to punish the throw with the pin. Up B doesn't kill.
He's got so much precision with that move. I can never hit it any time I try.
There's an F smash.
Poptart hopping up and down on the spot, just like, let me get in. Let me get him. I have all the rage. I have the extra stock to play with.
I think Poptart hanging on to his second stock for as long as he has really helped secure this probable victory right now.
You're absolutely right.
Gets a sec. Just about clings on. Ooh. I like that option, but it did not quite work out. There's a downer out of shield.
There goes the second stock, and we have limit options. He
I really
just
like that so
did
much.
it. Yeah. Can you imagine if that hit and he cleared it up, and now he's sitting there with rage, and he would be in a 1v1.
That's a grab. That's a back throw. Oh, he hits the platform and slides off it.
Yeah.
No back air conversion from Miller. Forward air. Trying to jump out of disadvantage, and I guess he just kind of gave up or something.
I don't think he had a jump there.
Puts up a good fight, does Azreal, but that is blue team now making it 1-1.
Yeah. Really back and forth this set. You saw it was slightly more. It seems like at the beginning of the game, it seemed slightly in the control of one team. So we see generally, I've seen the red team, I've seen the Dutch players take full control of center stage at the beginning of the game, but slowly the blue team work their way back into it, and it's whether they can out sprint them at the end, just to see if they can seal off those final stocks.
Definitely.
Seems to be what it's coming down to. The synergy of the blue team, though, the synergy of the red team, though, does seem like to me to be the stronger of the two.
Yeah.
I notice a lot. I notice Ramses and Azreal confirming off of each other's hits a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
And we are headed to everybody's favorite.
Woo! I mean, this is a great pick for Azreal and Ramses, so I do not blame them in the slightest.
Somebody has to land on a platform at some point in time on the stage, and that means you have to interact with these two characters' incredibly active nairs. Buttons into buttons into buttons. There's another up B out of neutral from Plastic Poptart. Told you the first time, I'm going to call it every time he does it. Especially in doubles, because in doubles things are less likely to get punished because it's so much more chaotic.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, he's got limit.
He had limit, and he burned it at a time that allowed him to get back to the stage. Puts himself into disadvantage, but you'll take that over losing a stock any day.
Hopping over that down air hitbox does Poptart. Blue team with a lot of control now. The juggle game is really good. Just keeping red team in disadvantage. Wow, cheeky Dragon Fang shot.
Wow, Theod have confirmed off of that and managed to get a kill. But how did they both die right then? I was looking...
Ramses got lilated.
Ramses got lilated, and we can assume that Poptart was fairly defeated off stage.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I was too busy looking at that beautiful confirm that we saw from Azreal onto JMiller off of a rogue Dragon Fang shot.
Alright, that up air gonna clear Azreal's first stock. Let's see what blue team can make a small lead.
Plastic Poptart threw out a counter of his own there. Thought it might be a surprise, but neither of the red team took the bait at all. Air dodge a second time there, didn't have Plastic Poptart.
Up throw, yep, that's it.
He's really trying to relieve pressure from his state against Azreal. Dodging Cloud's aerials can be a really tricky process. Shields every hit of that cross slash. Doesn't get the punish though because Ramses was waiting nearby.
Yeah, actually hits both of blue team with a neutral. Real good stuff. More conversions like that, they'll definitely get back into it. But now we're basically at 2 1v1s at the moment. Perfectly timed get up from Miller.
I like that again. JMiller had Azreal off stage, but Ramses just threatening his approach there. Forced JMiller into making a decision as to whether he was going to go get him early. And because of that, he potentially made the wrong decision.
Right, so Miller hanging on to his second stock now. But Poptart is on his last, so red team have swung things in their favour just slightly. I mean, if they get Miller stock off now, they're really good.
Yes, that would be a very strong lead for them.
Okay. Get some extra percent on Poptart with a limit blade beam.
Okay.
Azreal
didn't react to Plastic Poptart just rolling into him and grabbing him out of limit charge there.
Alright, got misfire recovery. Miller's still hanging on.
There we go.
Tech though. Nice.
That was a really good tech from Miller. That was an early blender that Miller went for.
Alright, so Miller taking Azreal stock, is still hanging on to his own. The counter coming out, not dead though.
Game is kind of even, slightly in red team's favour. Ramses needed to watch out for the up smash there. Gets Miller in return with an up air of his own. And now it is firmly in the favour of red team. They can lose a stock and still stay in the game.
Yeah,
well, still keep both players in the game. Plastic Poptart dropping shield just before Ramses did there. There we go. Put a few percent there.
They're trying to chase down Ramses, but Azreal came in there. Now kind of back into neutral. Perfect shield on the line.
Really good stuff from JMiller there. Goes for
recovery.
Yep. Goes for the cyclone. Doesn't get any luck though. Plastic Poptart seems quite reluctant to throw out any hit.
That must have been a cyclone misinput. He could actually cross-slashed him there. He might have died. But maybe. Hard to tell. Go for the safe dash attack.
Okay, so that back air that you just saw, oh wow, they missed their team combo right there. And now we are in a 2-on-1. JMiller has to get rid of Azreal as quickly as possible, but that is going to be so quickly. But he manages to, no, he does not die.
Sneaky get off attack. Miller hanging on. Oh.
Sitting there just whiffing fair, just to see if he can counterpoke Ramses' aerial options.
Sneaky spot dodge.
So using the really fast forward throw so that Ramses was not really ready to punish.
He's alive.
Yep, he's living.
How will he get back on? Forward air, down smash. Oh.
JMiller is not going down without a fight.
Forward air from ledge. Oh, he waits for Ramses to press the button.
This should be all she wrote. No,
I think up front will take it down. No. Up smash gets Ramses.
Let singles bracket commence.
Oh, he tries to catch him off guard again with a limit blade beam.
There
Back
we
air.
go. That is it. That must really suck to be JMiller right there. Put it in that work. Managed to get it down to 1v1. Just gets caught by a safe back air anyway.
oh no, it's 1v1 back air. Back air. It's kind of the Luigi Destroyer in a 1v1.
The Luigi Destroyer?
Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but either way, Miller stock got destroyed by the backer.
It did get deleted.
And now we're at 2-1.
2-1 tournament point for the team from the Netherlands, Azreal and Ramses. JMiller and Plastic Poptart, no strangers to this stage of the tournament themselves. They're going to be, they're obviously going to still be feeling themselves as in with a big chance of winning it.
Oh yeah.
Not seen a single game on Battlefield yet. Dislike button, please. I want some standard vanilla triplats, please.
Did we not see a Battlefield game? I swear we did.
Oh, did we?
I think we did. Oh well, either way.
My powers of observation are clearly what limit my progress in this game.
Wow, you did use this jump. That was a quick stop taken from Ramses.
That was Azreal. That was
yeah. Yeah, Azreal.
That was these two players showing that they know how to deal with Cloud once he's burnt his second jump.
Just a train of forward airs from Miller.
Yeah, it was. They literally ran a train of forward airs on this man.
That was a really smart pin. Getting himself out of trouble, and even if he shielded it, it might have been safe after either way.
Yeah, he'll shield that all day. I like that from Azreal. Azreal goes for some really thuggish options. Like, he goes for these thuggish options that, like, in essence just makes sense because you know that JMiller wanted to punish that F smash, but he moved laterally towards Ramses and away from the limit. What's it?
Well,
finishing touch. Sorry, I just had the weirdest brain freeze. Itano.exe has encountered a problem.
I'll smash.
Wow.
Back
Trading stocks for stocks. Blue team in the lead still.
Such safe kill options coming out from both teams there.
Yeah.
Putting in work.
I love that from Miller right there. Stagger jab 1, stagger jab 2. Ready. Then obviously you've got to guess whether he's going to go for the grab or not, or just send you away with the third hit.
Just knows when he's going to shoot one sometimes.
You're in that nasty situation, Miller, against Cloud, where you've just got to pick air dodge or not, and your reward for guessing right is not getting up aired.
There's the upbeat.
To take both himself, his partner, and one of his opponents well, really high.
And that's an early stock to take off Miller.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of payback for getting creeped earlier, so...
This is true. JMiller's up smash, going to leave Azreal at the mercy of Plastic Poptart. Plastic Poptart gets put into a disadvantage himself, though.
Actually gets hit into his teammate's jab.
He exercised his own teammate from the stage. You hate to see this kind of thing happen. Genius counter from Plastic Poptart right there. Oh wow, we got swag combos. No, JMiller mistiming his jump for a second there.
Oh, slide on that back air on shield. Jeez.
I thought it was Blender o'clock. Up B. They have 3 extra stocks to play with.
Yeah, Poptart hasn't even lost one.
Sorry, I just saw that back throw cross through the person that he was trying.
Yeah.
Like that was like a Meta Knight. That was like you shielding the Meta Knight dash attack. He went to punish it, and he was on the other side. I didn't know throws did that as well.
Oh wow, he crossed up my shield with a back throw.
Yeah. Woke. Wokest option available.
Jeez, crazy. But real solid game coming out there.
They've not really had like such a commanding lead in either of these sets so far.
It is super close, and both teams right now on tournament point will be the last game except in the case of a draw game.
Yeah.
in the very rarest cases of a draw game.
Very likely the last game of doubles today at that BlastZone 27.
Yeah. But that last one was a commanding game from the blue team. A team from the UK representing home right now. However, the Dutch team are so strong with those conversions off of each other's options. For me personally, I've got them pegged as favourites currently.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Only it's very even right now though.
Absolutely. Just need to make sure that nothing nasty happens to them off stage when facing off against a Luigi Blender or Plastic Poptart super deep aerials and those tendencies.
High recovery from Ramses again. And Azreal is ready to cover him with Poptart.
He just went for it right there. That limit up B off of one of Corin's weak hits. Oh, that I think that was really bad DI from Plastic Poptart right there. Ended with him getting up ahead off the top extremely early.
Sometimes you just get caught. You just get hit while you're trying to drift with an aerial or something. Yeah. So very unfortunate there.
It's not looking too bad for the blue team, however, because they've got Azreal to such a high place. Ramses kills himself.
He tries to be really ambiguous with his recovery. He's stalling as much as possible.
Azreal just tried to rip out another finishing touch, I think. The neutral. I really like these options in doubles because the punish probability is so low.
Yeah.
However, that SD from Ramses is a huge swing in the momentum of this match because Azreal is now at 173%. Like, breathe on this man too hard and he will die.
They're out of shield. Jeez. Sounds so
Okay.
painful.
But, wow, the red team not crumbling, though the fact they had a real heavy setback there. Azreal's stock still intact at 182%. And
Well, there's an up B. Wow.
how is this man stock tanking, right? How is Azreal, in the situation he was put in earlier, managed to be the stock tank for this long?
I don't know, man. It's really good at hanging in there, keeping his limit at the same time.
Yeah, that could be the secret. The extra stat bonuses that he's getting from limit, allowing him to outmaneuver both of his opponents and sort of remain slippery, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Throw. Yep.
And that is going to get rid of the stock. And there is an up B.
He's not dead, though. Wow. He's like 3% off dying.
From JMiller's perspective, he must have felt really hard done by right there. You walk up, you get an up B on somebody.
That B would have been such a momentum swing. I mean, the team still have the lead by definition, but Azreal's looking at a very low percent, so anything can happen.
The difference maker is they look like the team most likely to be put into a 2-on-1 situation right now. Poptart needs to be careful how he gets up there, especially as Azreal had just gotten that limit on deck. Could have just cross-slashed his wake up.
Rolling under. No punish.
Really good shield on the random cross-slash right there. Well, it's a disservice to call it random. I'm sure it was calculated
There's
as
an up
well.
smash on the dancing blade whip.
The
He's
down
not
B,
dead.
down B dancing blade in doubles is a questionable option, knowing that you can be just charge smash as a punish.
Hot grab.
The back the
Converts
cross
into the
through
up air.
again.
Oh, they're both blue team perpetuating that finish. Oh, he gets caught this time. That's the start. It's not over yet. Even Stokes with Poptart and a fresh one.
Yeah.
And there's Miller's.
Okay. One stock apiece. This game hasn't been a blowout, but it's still clearly blue team's advantage. There we go. And now it's all... Oh no, sorry, there was a share stock to be had.
Red team really need to get something going there, but unfortunately Ramses they're not making up for their quote-unquote lead that they had just a minute ago. That definitely is going to be a shared stock, and now blue team looking very good. Especially if they get rid of Azreal sooner rather than later.
This means that there we go, JMiller jabs Ramses to check him in the neutral and then rolls through trying to get to Azreal. Azreal using that limit speed to just cross through to the other side of the stage. He's proving to be super slippery when they need somebody to stock tank. He just will not die. But he gets cleaned out by his own partner, and that's a big deal right now because that puts Ramses in a 2-versus-1 situation. Now, immediately recognizing that starts increasing his usage of the counter as well.
It's really going to be a heavy blow, but Ramses is not going to go without a fight. That's an early up B, but this time Miller is ready for it.
Yeah, that was a smart up B by Ramses, but an even smarter wait and patience from JMiller.
Nice double jump from Ramses. He's been very elusive.
Ramses has acted as the vanguard for his own team, holding the front line, but now he has to do it without the threat of a cloud with limit in the back.
Back air, that's
And
it.
that will take it. And your winners after a full bracket reset. Was it an initial 3-0 and then a full game 5 set when both teams were in losers? Your winners will be JMiller and Plastic Poptart.
Woo! Good set.
Really strong showing.
Alright. Some lovely doubles games being played, but singles will be starting about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
For you guys at home. Goodbye.